Hi everyone, now this is the pattern I'm tying at the moment, the fly. This is well, basically what I'm doing, I'm actually putting together a box of flies, well basically the flies I fished throughout the season and did well. Now there was a couple of Caddis patterns, especially, these are sort of subsurface type Caddis. This one especially I did really well. When the granum was coming off, I've got in the grey, this one. So I'm going to be tying this one here, the granum. It's a great pattern. As I say, it's a great style and it catches me a lot of fish now. I do weight them as well. I put a bead in front of them to get them down. I don't put a couple of fibres on it like the CDC, I don't use it so much. But basically for this one I like to use the CDC. Now, it's basically just mixing the nubbin. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to tie it. Now, it's quite simple. The arm, to keep it up, I'm using a dry fly hook. You could use I've used curve hooks before in this fly, but I do like this hook when I'm fishing it nearer the surface. It holds well. I've even had a wee grouse on it. One time I had a grouse. Now, I lost the fish, wasn't it? I didn't lose it on the hook. I lost it in a branch, it was in the middle of the surface. So it does well. It's a great hook. Strong enough for me. Now, as I say, it's a dry fly hook, but I'm going to be using it as a subsurface type. Thread I'm going to be using in this one is the grey. You could use a darker colour, black even would do. I've used many colours. Now I have waxed the thread. Start just before the eye, and the way down I'm going to actually tie in the rib. Now you could rib the fly quite a few fibres. Now I'm using, on the original fly I used this neon sort of thread. It's a kind of quite a rounded thread, got a good grip on it, but I don't have it in a lime green. So what I'm doing, I'm using this stretch floss, this one here, and it's the right colour. Now you mess around with it to suit yourself. You could use a wire, but the problem with the wire, it adds weight. It's the reason why I'm using the floss. Now I'm actually running the wax through it while it's still on the spool, because it's easier to do. I'm sure there's plenty of wax on it. It gives it grip. So I'm going to tie it, as I say, on the way down. Now, as I say, I've kind of fine-tuned this pattern over the years of tying it. I'm just pulling that in. I'm going to be, on the way down as well, I'm going to tie in the back. Now this is just to give more of the Caddis colour, which is, I like this colour in it. This is hen pheasant, and I like it on the other fly. I use the hen pheasant on a lot of these flies. It just suits Caddis. Now the hen pheasant, I'm going to bring out a few fibres. Now this is going to basically represent the legs, the back and the thorax cover the same piece, so I'm going to use it all for that. Now there's a good 20 fibres there. So once they pull it 90 degrees for the stem, you'll see them lining up, so then tear it off. So I'm going to bring the ends together here. You're looking for around about, I mean, if you imagine where you're going to tie it in, it's about halfway down. You want it to, say, just the back of the hook. So you tie that forward, and then on the top of the shank. And then the way down, you just catch in, tie it in, keeping it on top. All the way down. I like to come round the bend slightly. So you see where I am, that's fine. Then come up a couple of turns or so. Now for the dubbing, I'm using, this is a new dubbing. Well, it's been out a season or so. Now I did use it, and this is called Dark Hare's Ear UV. Now it's very similar to a blend that I do. This is the full mill version. It's got the UV, it's got an actual dub, and it's got the right colour. So I have some on my desk. So I still lightly dub it on. I like the UV flash, and especially close to the flies that's close to the surface, it catches the light. So you're, as I say, here leave a wee, don't make it too thick at the back, because that first turn of the taper you want it on basically as close to the shank as you can, and then you just work your way up. A nice taper in your body. Turn there. Then I'm going to bring my thread in front, the legs. As I say now, this is, I'm going to like form like a cat's whisker like. I mean, it's like, looks like cat's whiskers anyway. So it's just fibres, splitting them evenly either side, and then use the back to separate them. So I'll show you there, it's there. So we can bring this over the back, just draw the legs slightly back, pinch the top or pinch the material with 2 or 3 turns. Let me show you what it looks like now. So there we are. Now leave them sitting straight out, and then I'm going to bring my rib up. Now the first thing I like to do is twist my floss one way. I usually do a turn at the back first, and then we just rib the body all the way up. Just watch the legs, you will catch them, just move them out the way. I like to see the rib. Now the back adds colour and shape in the fly. Now once you get to the legs, do a turn in front of them as well. You're going to tie over the top of that, but it just makes it easier to actually tie it or catch it in. 3 or 4 turns. Trim it away. Then we can draw the legs back. I usually just put my finger on the side and just push, sort of slide my finger forward, and then crease them at the base. And that draws the legs back, gets them to sit nice. There we are. Now, as I say, this is going to be the thorax cover now. So I'm just going to go halfway up and fold it back. Spread the fibre and bring it right up to the legs. So here we are. Looks fine. Nothing wrong with that. Again, just work my way back down towards the eye. But head length away. I like to work the dubbing up to the thorax cover. Now what I'm going to do here, now I have, these are remains of CDC feathers. I never throw them away. It's just an actual CDC feather, you can see the tip's been used. I keep these as dubbing, so what I'm going to do is trim the fibres off onto my desk. And then I'm going to use the actual same dubbing I did in the body. Just make sure I've got a wee bit of UV in it. And then I'm going to just blend it and mix it within my fingers. This will help hold it together, give it a wee bit of colour as well. Makes it easier to dub. And then dub it onto your thread. Don't be shy with it. Just going to slide it up. And then I'm just going to work from the eye up towards the legs and the thorax cover. Just stretching it out, twisting when we need to. A nice shape. Now you always have the option to brush this out. Just work your way through. You can work your way back through with the thread, which will help tighten it slightly. Now, what I do, the reason I was saying about you can use a Velcro and bring out some of the dubbing, just to help slow it up or keep it close to the surface. Now, I use times when I'm underwater, I use a cuff, because all the jackets nowadays have Velcro on it, so but you can actually brush out some of the dubbing. But you can really rough it out and brush it, because as I say, it will slow it up. I'm just drawing this back. I mean, it's a rough fly, it's just what it's meant to be. You need this to help slow the fly up, and being able to put a wee bit of muslin or a wee bit you're floating on the top or on it to lift it, it will work. Now I've got on this fly here, in this pattern, I use bronze mallard for the horns. I'll get it in focus so you can see it. There we are. You can see the bronze mallard fibres. Now on the opposite side, there's the bronze mallard there. There's a grey side. Now I use the grey side for this fly. Just need to bring two out. There we are. The ends are lined up, take them off. Oh. And then we can bring the thorax cover over when we tie them in. They can be as long as short as you like, it's up to yourself, as long as you can see them. Tertiary turns there just to hold it. And then use the thorax cover to keep them apart. About 3 or 4 turns. You can check my length, see what they're like. You could pull them in a wee bit. At this point there's still enough time to do that. Check my length. And then what I like to do is just 3 or 4 turns more. Trim away the waste. Now I usually bring the thread to the eye, stretch it to the eye, and then build the thread up from the front into the cut ends, which is slightly tucking back these cut ends a wee bit. It's easier to actually work up rather than work down because it will slip. Now what I'm doing here is just curling the ends here. I don't know if you can see that, but just bring them in a wee bit. You'll naturally do that once you start to fish it, and then you're, as I say, don't be shy with the head. The thread's there for a reason, the colour. Caddis are big, so trim that away. A wee quick look. See how it's sitting. Get a nice shape, any long fibres like this one here, we can tweak it off. Then we can finish off with a coat of varnish. So all the way around. Make sure there's plenty in there. I'm going to use this piece of wire on my desk here to clean the eye out. I don't mind filling the eye the hook because I know it's varnished properly. Bit of dub in there. Just clean it, there we are. How's it look? It's fine, it looks okay. It's a nice balance in the fly. So there you are, that's the granum. That's one of the patterns. I say there's 2 or 3 patterns I like to tie like this, and I like to weight these flies as well. I like to basically have a version. I do have versions of these with a bead as well as a dry. I've got a version like that, but these are the 2 main ones I like to fish, the granum and this. This is a kind of cinnamon version. I've caught me many fish over the years. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and again, thanks for watching.